All right, we are back with another Pick'em video. It is Sunday, October 26th in the NBA. I know there are a couple of early games. We might be attacking those in some capacity, but if you're getting here a little bit later, don't worry. We have some picks in the later games as well. We're going to go over the recap of yesterday's video picks like we always do. A nice winning day. One guy we went to dominated us, but all the other three picks hit for us. So let's do a recap of that real quick. And then, of course, if you're new around here, go and subscribe. Leave the video a like. If this video gets to 150 likes, I'll add another play in the pinned comment down below. And we're 2-4-2 in our pinned comment plays. Haven't missed a pinned comment play yet this season. So yeah, hit the like button. Views are probably going to be down on a Sunday where people are watching football, but I appreciate everyone watching. Let's hop into the recap so then we can get into the plays for the day. So quick recap of yesterday's plays. We talked about 4 of them. The first one was Joel Embiid, kind of a scary one, going to a former MVP's underline when it's so low for his standards, but hard capped at 20 minutes. He did not check back in the game after that. So kind of reading into that, you can't tell where his minutes limit is unless they come out and say it. But I saw what he did in the Celtics game. He looked sluggish. He's definitely going to start the season slow, and he stayed well under that. I think he had 6 rebounds and assists, and mostly with assists. I think he had 4 assists, 2 rebounds. So easy win there. Nipple over his 1.5 threes line. This is minus 105 as well, and he had at least 3. I didn't actually check the final box score, but I know he had at least 3, definitely at least 2. So that was another win right there. This was the bad read of the day, and I don't even really consider it a bad read. Chet Holmgren kind of banged up after 39 minutes in back-to-back double overtime games, and he comes out there and plays like a champion. He had an off game the day before, or the game before, and he comes in there and dominated. He had 31 points alone, so he cleared the PRA line alone in just the points. So got to tip your cap to him. We're not going to win every single play we place, and that was the one for us today. But Trae Young under his 2.5 threes. We chased him plus money there, and he did finish with 2 threes. I should have grown some cojones and went full unit on it, but we did move. Played a little bit safer with the 0.75 units, but nice little win on the plus 135 play. So another winning day here. We're on a little bit of a run to start the seain. If I can zoom out here, I think we're up like 5 units already on the NBA season, which is awesome to see. I'm tracking everything. I'm very transparent with you guys. Win or losing day, I'm going to show and do the recap. And we've had a lot of wins so far. So love to see that. Let's hop into the plays for today and try to chase another winning day here. So hopping into Props Madness like we always do. This is a player prop tool that gives us a whole bunch of different information on players, on defenses, and things like that. As the season progresses, we're going to get all these different, how players score, how defenses rank up against that, how similar types of players score, where they score from the court, ton of different filters. It's a really, really fun prop tool to use. It's one of the cheapest in the industry as well. And you can get 25% off your first month if you use my code in the description down below, or my link even is even easier. And Props Madness is awesome, so definitely go ahead and check them out. And that's going to bring us to our first play here, and it is going to be Myles Turner, and it's going to be an over 1.5 3-pointers line. I'm seeing minus 125 for this play right now, and obviously looking at data last year, even this year, doesn't look amazing. We saw Karl-Anthony Towns go up against this Cleveland Cavaliers team, and he didn't hit his line. You can pretty much say, okay, Myles Turner, Karl-Anthony Towns, both 3-point shooters here. It's a bad data point to see that Karl-Anthony Towns didn't get up the shots and didn't make this line. But I think Myles Turner's here for a bounce back spot. This is not going to be one that's going to look pretty in the graph until I do one certain filter, which I think is going to be the main filter I'm attacking here. And it's the fact that a lot of threes have been put up against this Cleveland Cavaliers team so far this season. Again, there's only been 2 games, so maybe I'm looking too far into that. But we saw the Knicks play them. They shot 40 threes in that game. And then we saw the Brooklyn Nets play them, and they shot 44 threes in that game. So a lot of threes being put up against this Cleveland Cavaliers team. Obviously, they're dealing with some sort of injuries across their team. And I think Myles Turner is in a pretty good bounce back spot here. He's only scored 11 points and 4 points in 28 and 29 minutes. Both wins on this Bucks team, but he's the new center for this Bucks team. They just signed him for a long deal, and I think he's going to get a little bit more involved as we get going. And this is their first big test. They're going up against the Cavs, a team that's going to be rivaling them in the East. They had the Wizards and the Raptors before this. The Wizards, we know they're not very good. Toronto Raptors look okay this year. They look like a mediocre team for sure. But yeah, the Cavs are going to be the big test for them. Again, dealing with some injuries. I think Myles Turner is going to step into a bigger role here. Definitely score some points. He's not going to average, 8 points this season. We're going to see some big games from him. And I think, it could start today with the amount of 3-pointers being put up against this Cavs team. We just need Myles Turner to knock some down. And I think it's definitely an option today. So the thing I wanted to look at was going to his last year's stats and seeing games that he's going up against teams that are allowing, the most threes in the league. We'll look at the top 10 teams in terms of most threes allowed. Right now, the Cavs are ranked 24th in the league through 2 games. And this is when he's hitting a lot of threes. When a lot of teams are giving up 3-pointers, he's going to start jacking them, and he's been over this line in 77.8% of games last year. 21 of 27 games where they ranked, in the bottom 10 and allowing threes. So we're seeing something like that. Again, it's very early, but teams have been putting up threes against this squad, and I think Myles Turner, in my mind, is going to have a pretty good bounce back opportunity here and be able to launch some threes tonight. So I like this spot for him. You might not like it just because the graph wasn't looking amazing. He's off to a slow start, but the best part about these videos is they're free, and you can decide if you like the input or not. And I'm really liking this spot for him. Minus 125, that's not too bad for me. I'd probably honestly play this up to minus 140. I could probably get myself to do that. But if you're paying that much juice at that point, maybe even change this line to a 2.5 and get some pretty good plus money on this line. So Myles Turner, 1.5 3-pointers at minus 125. I think that's pretty good, and I know he's a better player that he's seen so far on offense through 2 games this season. Moving to the next play here, it's going to be Shaedon Sharpe. This is the first player I've gone to twice so far this year, so this is the second time we're going to Shaedon Sharpe. He didn't come through for us last time, but the volume was there. He shot 20 times, and I still like his volume. And even with the shooting woes, 25%, 20 shots in the first game, 33%, 15 shots in the second game. He's been aggressive. He's been getting to the free throw line. And now he's got a Clippers team they're just old, honestly. They're old, they're kind of slow. And we saw the Jazz, a nice young team, beat up on the Clippers. And I think the Trailblazers kind of have a similar identity to the Jazz, a team that is nice and young. I think they can run a gun against this Clippers team. And the Clippers, pretty good defense overall last year. This year, not so much. We've seen a lot of threes put up against them. Overall, their defense is just not amazing. The way he scores the ball above the break threes, that's his main source of scoring this year. They're ranked 26 there, defensive rating, 26 there. So the Clippers probably will lock in more towards the end of the season if they can stay on track with their record. But I think a Trailblazers squad in a pretty good position here to have a good game. And Shaedon Sharpe, obviously one of the main scorers on this team. Now, we've seen Jrue Holiday cut into his minutes a little bit. He's had 29 minutes and only played 25 minutes, but that was in a blowout against the Warriors. They were up big in that game, and he played 25 minutes, again, still scored 17 points in that game. So I could expect maybe some more minutes from him. I think he's projected for 30 minutes as of right now over on RotoWire, so I do like to see that. If we're going to see him on the court for 30 minutes, I know he likes to shoot the ball. He just needs to shoot efficiently, and he has not done so this year so far in the first 2 games, but I think regression back to the mean is always the idea, and he could have a good shooting night here. Again, the Clippers have been getting beat up where he likes to score the ball, and we just need some buckets to go in early for Shaedon Sharpe to stay on the floor and to cook over this line, hopefully. So 19.5 points. I think it was the exact same line we went to last time against the Timberwolves. The volume was there. If he's not going to hit his shots, he's not going to hit his shots, but I think the volume is going to be here once again, and hopefully has a better shooting night this time. So Shaedon Sharpe, over 19.5 points, minus 112 on DraftKings right now, so pretty good value there. And I'm liking the spot for him. If I don't hit Shaedon Sharpe again, maybe I'm not having the best reads on his lines, and we'll have to take that in consideration. But I think he's going to come through for us tonight against the Clips. And this is the same thing I brought up last time I talked about Shaedon Sharpe, but this is games last year without Anthony Simons, without DeAndre Ayton. Sure, they brought in Jrue Holiday, they brought in a couple different guys, but Anthony Simons is going to be the main source of scoring from them last year. Denny Advia has turned into a better player. Tamani Kamara has turned into a better player, but Ayton's not here either. These are the games we're seeing from him over an 8 of 9 games. He can definitely score the basketball, and I think we're getting these lower lines because he started off so slow. But again, I think these lines might start going up and up and up if he starts getting the shot volume, if he starts shooting a little bit better. And I think he's better than this line, and I think we could see that tonight. Moving along to our next play, this is going to be one of the plays that I'm talking about in the earlier slot. So you have about 4 hours to get this one in. This is the Celtics Pistons at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm going to go to Cade Cunningham here. Over 5.5 rebounds at minus 120. He's had 7 rebounds on 15 rebound chances. He's had 7 rebounds on 12 rebound chances. So he's gone over this line in both games so far this season. Now he gets the Boston Celtics, who have been jacking up a lot of threes and missing a lot of threes. They're allowing they're ranked 19th in terms of rebounds allowed. So definitely not a team that doesn't allow a whole bunch of rebounds so far this year. And we've seen VJ Edgecombe. Brunson, I don't think, is more of a rebounder as Cade. Maybe VJ Edgecombe will be more of a similar type of rebounder as Cade is. He had 7 rebounds, so I like to see that data point. The Jalen Brunson one, I don't see him as a major rebounder anyway. So I think Cade and VJ are probably more comparable so far this season. I'm picking for things here just because we have such little data. But dating back to last year, he played this team 4 times, and he went over this rebounds line in 3 of the 4 games. One of these games he played 34 minutes. I thought he played less in this one, but still won by 20 points in that one. Totally different Celtics squad here with a lot less talent, and that just typically means a lot more rebound opportunities for a guy like Cade. Cade is also home. This is going to be in Detroit, so I like to see that. Celtics playing on the road, trying to get their first win. But I think Cade's a better rebounder than this line. 5.5, he's a triple-double threat each and every night. He can pass the ball, he can obviously score the ball, and 5.5 rebounds for -120 seems a little bit too low for here. Even just looking at all the data points, a lot of these are playoffs, or some of these last ones are playoffs, but throughout the entire season last year, if you look at the whole thing, if I go ahead and extend these games, he's over this line much more than 50% of the time, over in 63.2% of the time actually, and we know Jalen Duren likes to get in foul trouble. Maybe the Celtics exploit that, and if Jalen Duren comes off the floor, that's just more opportunity for Cade to get some boards as well. So I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Cade's at home. Cade's been rebounding the ball pretty well. The Celtics are a less talented team than last year, and he was able to get rebounds against them last year. And this just seems too low. 5.5 for a triple-double threat each and every night. -120 value. I don't mind that at all. So I think it's going to do it for the official video picks, but I want to walk through a couple leans here just to give you guys some more opportunity. I don't love betting on Sundays in general, basketball and baseball. Sunday football obviously is a different story. I'm going to be probably tweeting a few plays out, so go follow me on Twitter. But I want to talk about a few different plays that I was looking at, and we can mess around with some plus money here because these aren't going to be counted towards our record. But that also means I'm probably not as confident as the first 3 I just mentioned. So Shaedon Sharpe, I like his opportunity here at 3.5 assists, +130 right now on FanDuel. I like that value, and I think there's probably plus money pretty much everywhere. Yeah, +130 on FanDuel is going to be the best odds you can get. But we might be seeing the emergence of Shaedon Sharpe. He's been a scoring bucket. That was against the Bucks and the Mavericks. Now he gets the Charlotte Hornets, who defensive rank versus what he does has been pretty horrible. The Hornets are not a very good defensive team, and he's been diming the ball a little bit too. He's got 8 potential assists in both these games so far, which tracks pretty well with the 3.5 line, and we're getting +130 on this value. So he's gotten, I would say, better defenses. He's been able to get over this line. I think we're seeing the emergence of this guy in terms of his usage, which has been great. We can see usage percentage in the first 2 games, 25% in both those games. That's like an emerging star type of thing, and he's been playing really well. He's been scoring really well. That's going to go hand in hand with getting some assists as well if your usage is going to be up. And now he's got a weakest matchup, I think, so far this season against the Charlotte Hornets. Where has the assists been coming from so far this season? Above the break threes. They're literally dead last in that. We saw Michael Porter Jr., the similar type of player in terms of the assists. He was a 2.5 line. He had 5 assists against this team, so I like this opportunity, some plus money to mess around with Shaedon Sharpe. Definitely look into it. Moving into another lean here, another assist line, and this one's going to be weird. Just a 1.5 assist line for a guy like Norman Powell in a very difficult matchup. So again, I was pretty confident in this one. I'm not making an official video pick because of the defense of the Knicks. They don't allow a whole bunch of assists this year. They didn't last year. But I like the opportunity for -120 for an over 1.5 assist line. I feel like you can almost accidentally get 2 assists. And Norman Powell has a lot of usage on this Miami Heat team without Tyler Hero. He's not in the Clippers anymore, so James Harden was the main guy with the ball in his hands over on the Clippers. Norman Powell is going to be a main scorer for sure. But now I could see him maybe being a little bit better of a distributor this year. He had 7 potential assists in that first game against the Magic. That was a game he played 36 minutes. He had 28 points in that game as well. So that played really well. He only played 25 minutes in the 32-point blowout win against the Memphis Grizzlies. So that one's kind of hard to look at. So I do more like this one, the 7 potential assists, ball in his hands a lot more this season with Miami Heat in a extended role. He was great in the Clippers, but you're going to look at his assist numbers and not love them. More of a 50-50 hit rate. But James Harden's not on this team. He's going to be a guy that has the ball a lot. Obviously, other dudes are going to handle it, but Norman Powell is going to have it. If he doesn't have the shot, he's going to be able to pass it. And again, you can almost accidentally get 2 assists. So something I was looking at for -120, I don't mind that. Very difficult matchup, I will point that out, but the Magic was too. So 1.5 assists for Norman Powell. Maybe look into it if you can get a pretty good price. Then moving to this next play, and this is going to be an official video pick. I was trying to scan the board, trying to find some more leans, but Anthony Davis over 1.5 blocks. I'm really liking this spot for him against the Toronto Raptors, who have given up a decent amount of blocks this season. They play with a lot of pace as well, so I like what I'm seeing here. The 2 starting centers that have played them so far, Myles Turner and Porzingis, have gone over this line, so I love to see that. And AD, minus 114 value, not too shabby here. It's dating back to last year, obviously over this in a lot of games, which I love to see. He played the Raptors 3 times. He had 2 blocks in 2 games, and he had a 7-block game, so love to see that as well. And then games that he's played, last year, looking at the minutes, games he's seeing more than 30 minutes, which we've seen so far in each and every game, if I can find the freaking filter. Minutes right here, we're going to see him, play more than 30 minutes. He's over this line in 72.4% of games. So loving what I'm seeing from AD this year. Again, only 2 games so far. That was the Spurs game. He played 32 minutes. They lost by 33. It's hard to block Wemby. And then he played 38 minutes here against the Wizards and, chipped into 2 blocks. So loving this spot. Love to see 2 centers already. Porzingis and Turner go over this line. And AD's got a good track record getting some blocks against this Toronto Raptors team. So loving this AD line. It's going to be an official video pick. Let's get into the recap so, you're not confused. What's official, what's not official. And also, if you missed that Cade Cunningham play, because maybe you got here a little bit too late, now you have 3 plays to mess around with. So hopping into the recap, what we talked about in this video. First is Cade Cunningham, just because his game is the earliest. We talked about his over 5.5 rebounds at minus 120 on BetMGM. We talked about Myles Turner knock down some threes, have a, starting the season off slow. I think this is a pretty good bounce back spot for him. Minus 125 BetMGM. Shaedon Sharpe, also a guy that's been, starting off slow in terms of his shooting percentage, but he's been getting up a lot of shots. This could be a bounce back spot for him, over 19.5 points. Don't hurt us twice here, Shaedon Sharpe. He's the first guy I'm going to twice. Last time he didn't come through for us. I think today he does. And then Anthony Davis over 1.5 blocks against the Toronto Raptors at minus 114. All 1-unit plays. Hopefully we can go and cash and continue this run that we're getting on the start of the NBA season with not a whole lot of data. I like where spot we're at right now. So if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely go ahead and leave it a like. If it gets to 150 likes, I'll add another play in the pinned comment down below. We are 2 for 2 in our pinned comment plays so far this year. So definitely go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new around here, definitely go ahead and subscribe as well. Comment anything. I love reading the comments. I respond to literally every single comment that comes out there. So thanks for everyone that comments. And last thing I'll mention is October 28th is going to be the last day that I'm giving away a free month of my Discord to anyone that clicks the link down below. It's literally a free month for no reason. No strings attached. Go in there. It's a DubClub link. You sign up through DubClub, and then you link your DubClub account to your Discord account. That's where you get access to all of my different plays. And then the last thing, of course, check out Props Madness. That was the tool we were using all throughout the video. They're a really sweet tool. Check them out. They're very cheap in terms of the industry standards. They have a whole bunch of tools, and they're just going to get better and better and better throughout the season as we get more data points to mess around with the filters. I'm not going to keep you guys here any longer. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be tomorrow. Enjoy football. Watch some basketball if you're going to bet on it, and I'll see you guys. That's it. Peace out.